Number 4, can you believe we made it this far? Talking action for your business with Amanda and Don. How you doing, Amanda?
Great, Don. How are you?
And these things are flying right along. And today we're going to talk about change / my favorite word, pivot.
Right, right.
So
yeah. So step number 4, Don, we've been working through these with each episode, and we're up to number 4, which the step number 4 for any business to be doing in a crisis, especially this pandemic crisis that we're having, is change. So what, or like, I like the word that you use. I like pivot. You can use them interchangeably. They're synonymous in this situation.
Well, there's an old saying, Amanda, and my boy Bob Parsons that used to own GoDaddy, I have it right on my screen.
Yeah.
But it says, an imperfect plan executed today is better than a perfect plan executed tomorrow. And what he's talking about is, if you're waiting for that perfect plan, you're going to be waiting a long time because it's never going to be perfect.
Exactly. And thank you so much for sharing that, Don. Another way that I like to use, and I actually had this quote for years stuck up on my wall, but it's right along the lines of that Bob Parsons quote. So thanks for sharing. But it's a Jim Rohn quote. Are you familiar with Jim Rohn, right? Yeah. Jim Rohn used to say, to get off the fence because you can't make progress without making decisions. So you just have to be moving forward sometimes, right? You can't be just stopping and overanalyzing and thinking on things. You just have to make a decision, and with that, you have to pivot, right?
Well, it's like that book right above my head. You can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar.
I like it.
And what that means is you can go learn, but until you actually get on the bike, it doesn't matter what you learn.
Exactly. It's so true. So what does this look like at a very practical level right now for business owners? You cannot be waiting for change in your business to be impacting you. You have to be the one to impact the change, right? You have to be getting ahead of what's going on. So for example, Don, you have a lot of clients that are restaurants and in food. So what are some of the things that they have been doing to change their business or to pivot their business to stay ahead of the uncertainty for how long these mandates that our governor is doing?
Well, the biggest change is they had to pivot from doing dine-in to curbside, which they weren't used to. And the other thing is they're finally doing social marketing correctly. Yep. Instead of putting pictures up, look at this beautiful food. Hey, let's show the staff. Let's show us having fun. Let's show us preparing food. But I mean, they're more telling the story now. That's where the biggest pivot is, and it's going to last because they're doing the right things now. I call it advanced marketing, and it's really not advanced marketing. It's what you should be doing anyway. And it's what people have talked about for the last 10 years, but now you're forced to do it, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. So along these lines, what you use the marketing example, which is a perfect example. But right now, businesses need to be asking themselves, what changes do I need to make, or what pivots need to be happening to my products, to my services, to my prices, to my delivery systems, to my staffing? You need to be looking at every single aspect of your business to be saying, okay, what needs to be shifted or what needs to be changing to stay ahead of what's coming down the pike.
Well, I got a prime example. And I think this is going to be a great day for examples for both of us. I had some friends that have clients that are physical therapists. Mm-hmm. Now, you would think physical therapists as chiropractors are down and out right now because they can't manipulate their patients, right?
Yep.
Well, we've got some physical therapists that are actually going to younger ages that are having some, let's say they got tennis elbow or whatever, or minor issues, but they can still help them with online here. They're doing Zoom meetings with them, and they're walking them through their therapy.
Yes, absolutely. Don, I had a very similar situation. So one of my business coaching clients, they're in healthcare. They have been mandated to close their doors because, like your physical therapist example, they touch people for a living. They quite literally touch people. And so they've had to close their doors because of the social distancing and the ramifications for trying to slow the spread of this virus. So we are looking outside of the box for what other ways can we pivot? How can we change our products, and how do we change our delivery systems, right? So what this particular client of mine is choosing to do, and I think it's awesome, they're doing Zoom interaction with their patients, and they're using technology to help their patients, educate them about their own body, and help them treat themselves on their own so that they will be able to still be as healthy and well as possible as they can be without my client putting their hands on them. I'll take it one step further, Don, though, with both your example you just gave and the example I just gave. I think it's also amazing because not only are these business owners having to pivot and having to shift, but it's also creating added value. And it's
Absolutely.
also, the business owners are going to be that much more relevant to their customers. And in our examples, we're using patients, but patients are customers. And to not only them, but then to their potential customers. So
Well,
it's a win-win.
the fascinating thing is that too, they're making another revenue stream.
Oh,
And that's the
totally.
most important thing. Yes, they are servicing your clients, but this is a revenue stream that will last past this period that we're having right now.
Definitely, definitely. So if I can share with you another example of a client of mine and how they're changing and how they're pivoting. So I have another client who is a sales professional. He's the lead salesman for his route for this area of, I'm in Central Iowa, for those of you that are watching this and don't know where Don and I are. But he holds the Central Iowa sales territory for his company. So he does a lot of face-to-face interaction. People do not want that right now. Either they're working from home or their doors are closed to customers walking in. So he can't really, the access that he has face-to-face has really been dropped, right? So guess what he's doing, Don?
What?
He is getting on his phone. He is using his phone to make cold calls and to start building relationships with his potential customers. You want to hear another funny part of the story, Don?
Sure.
His KPIs and the number of accounts closed are going up.
Well, one thing you might want to mention to him, because I know who you're talking about. They have fun on their routes, and they can take their phone. They could be doing some Facebook Lives and just putting them out there, and actually really no money behind it. But the life and times of blah, and all of a sudden people are starting to see them, and people are having fun, and they'll be like, "Dang, we can get this product delivered." Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't know. So again, take advantage of that. Finally, but he's using the phone, and he's doing that and building his business up. But there's some other things he could be doing too, and wouldn't take any extra time.
Definitely. The sky is the limit, guys. The point of it is that you have to adapt. Mm-hmm. And if you wait to adapt and don't adapt, Don, what's going to happen?
You might wither. You're missing the opportunities. What it boils down to, you're totally missing the opportunity because, I'm going to wait and see what business A does. I'm going to wait and see what business B does. I'm going to wait and see what business C does. Remember, actually, General Patton was the one that came up with this saying: a violent plan executed today that's not perfect is better than doing the perfect plan tomorrow. Because we all know there's no such a thing as perfect. It's ridiculous, especially in small business and business. So, well, there's another business too. We talked about them last one. It was, again, they're a day spa. I'll give them a shout out because I'm so impressed by what they're doing. And that's Revive Clinic out there in Anthony. Yeah. And they came up with, okay, so now we can't do what we do, the cool sculpting and what is ever done in a day spa, Botox, fillers, all that kind of stuff. We can't do that anymore. And I bet some of your customers are just going crazy. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, they sell a lot of product there. And they made emergency kits, and they made different emergency kits by product and price. They had something for everybody.
Yeah, that is such a great idea. And then guess what? When this all blows over, when they are able to put their hands on their patients again, they're still going to have that income from those products.
Absolutely. If they hit it right, again, there's people that will buy that product because they're familiar with with their brand of products they sell. They can carry that nationwide pretty much. Yeah. I mean, very easily. And so again, there's so much opportunity to develop different revenue streams. Amanda, what else you got for us?
Well, the other one that I just wanted to share, Don, that just came to my mind as we're talking is I have a client who is in the financial services industry.
They're real strict.
Sorry?
They're very strict on what you can do and what you can't do.
Exactly. But one step further is right now, for those of you that may not be aware, they're actually considered essential. So they are in a place where they do need to keep their doors open, right? So this particular individual, that's a client of mine for this example, they're in the financial services. For the safety of their customers, they are actually closing their office doors. So their business is open, but their doors are not. So guess what this client of mine is doing, Don?
What's that?
They're using Zoom to schedule all their meetings for their clients. They're saying, don't come over to our office. Don't be taking, don't leave your house if you don't need to. I know that we're essential, but I'm going to reach out to you. We're going to set up a time to meet. You can do it from the comfort of your living room. My clients that she's doing this with are loving it. So many of them are maybe can't leave their home because they have kids at home that would normally be in school. Some of them are older or they're high risk, so they don't want to be leaving their home. But she is deepening that connection, and by changing and pivoting her business, she's saying, I'm still here for you. I still will be here for you. We're committed to you.
And what's that do for the client? It saves a client 20 or 30 minutes out of their day.
Oh,
they're going to drive up to their office, and so they get his clients are more productive by doing a Zoom. Some people are so reluctant, but again, it's another thing. You know, there's people that have family like in nursing homes and stuff. Zoom's becoming a very popular platform to visit.
Right. And just for the record here, guys, Don and I aren't on the tank. Zoom's great, but we use FaceTime. We use I use
Go to webinar. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. WhatsApp for my friends that are outside the country. You can video chat or teleconference using so many different resources.
You know what I saw yesterday? I digress here real quick, but I was cracking up. So there were some of these teenagers. The FaceTime is not cutting it, neither is the texting. So what they did, they had about 8 of them went to school in the parking lot, and they circled their cars about 8 or 9 foot apart.
Oh, that's
like trunks to the middle, and they visited each other that way, practicing that social distancing, hanging in their trunks. Had the music jamming, but just having a good old time with the social distancing. So they got some overall reaction. I was wondering if that was ever going to come up, because you see some of these young people, all their hours on their phone, they don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. And these guys were like, oh God, we got to talk to somebody. I haven't had any interaction in forever.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, so Don, something you said on that triggered something else. And then I want to close with one last thing on our change step here. But, I was in a training about 2 weeks ago now, before the governor's proclamations really came out, before things really started to change really rapidly. And I was in a meeting for coaches training, and one of our coaches in that meeting said, the world is changing. And that is a fact of the matter. And that example that you just gave of how teenagers are adapting their social media, we have to change with it. And that includes business owners. If you do not change,
you will wither.
Exactly. And I know it sounds harsh, guys, but Don and I are here to help you, because we do not want to see small businesses wither. We want you guys to succeed and to prosper. And we know that you can, right, Don? This is a great opportunity. So if you don't change, that's what's going to happen. So Don, can I share with you what the best thing that's going to happen if you do change?
Sure.
You are going to have a leaner, faster, better business, and it's going to be done that much sooner.
So won't be like government. It'll be lean and mean and quick. Exactly. And you'll be able to service your clients, service your guests a whole lot quicker.
Absolutely. But you have to start today, guys. You have to change, you have to pivot, and you have to start now. Don't be waiting for tomorrow. Don't be waiting for a week from now. Get off the fence now, execute that plan, and move forward, okay?
Well, the main thing is, too, and I'm gonna leave with this, is think about what you can do different. Well, actually, stop thinking about what you can do different and just do it.
Exactly.
And that's what it boils down to. So some of us do overthink stuff, and we're going to wait for that perfect time, and there is no perfect time. Nope. So remember that.
Yep.
So,
all right.
Number 5. What we're going to talk about on number 5?
Yeah, so number 5 is going to be cut back. That's what it's called. So tune in, and we'll elaborate more on that and tell you what we mean, okay?
Perfect. Well, till then, we'll see you guys around.
Bye.
Bye.